Welcome, race fans, to the Castrol Raceway in Edmonton, Alberta. A beautiful Sunday morning, and we've got 4 spectacular races coming your way. MX2 boys are on the line for the first MX2 moto of the day. These are the guys that are going to kick this day off. Brian Coster and Mark Travers in the booth. And I tell you what, Brian, this is round 2 of the 2010 series. We've got 9 rounds over the course of this series, and things are just starting to heat up.
That's right, Travs. First round in Kamloops was a barn burner. Love this part of the day where the guys getting their gates prepared. Here's a great overview of Castrol Raceway. Huge rains in the prairies for the past month. This place was underwater last week, Travs.
You better believe it, Fabs. They've been pumping water off the track. You see lots of standing water in the puddles, and yet they're out watering this morning. What happens here? The wind comes in and dries that top layer, so they got to keep the moisture on the top layer of the track. But it is a special track, super fast, not necessarily too technical, but a great racetrack for the fans and also for us.
Yeah, suspension settings for the technicians, not as critical here like Kamloops, where it was really rough and rugged. Here it's so fast, they will need some stiff settings because they're hitting everything faster. As you can see, the dirt out here like a rich, deep chocolate, Travs, getting tilled up. Just nice for the boys.
Great shot of number 76, Sean Rife. He had a moto win last week. Number 17, Jeremy Medaglia on that orange Motorsports KTM, 3rd overall last week. He is super fast. How about former champion number 12, Eric Nye, starting to get his race face on? And last year's champion in the MX2 class, number 1, Teddy Mayer, sizing up that first straight.
And he was so fast in morning time qualifying. We're going trackside with G.
Thanks, fellas. Yeah, down here under the powerhouse tent of the Yamaha Blackfoot team with last week's MX2 winner, Tyler Medaglia, buddy. The first round, first moto didn't go the way you wanted, but the ending was what you needed.
Yeah, you know, it was a really good weekend. My bike was working really good, and you know, we just put in so much effort this off season to get ready for the nationals, and it was good to come out on top and you know, show that I have the speed and the fitness to, you know, pull it off.
So this week, we know now you're the points leader. You're feeling comfortable. Got a little bit of a setback. You still go for the win now to try to keep that points gap, or do you kind of sit back to see what's going on?
Hey, you know, I just want to have a consistent day. You know, I had a little bit of an off week this week with a bit of a stomach virus, but you know, I just want to, you know, go out and put in consistent laps and you know, just do what I've been doing. You know, it's going to be hot today, and you know, it's going to be grueling, so I'm going to push the whole way, and you know, yeah, I definitely want to win and keep the ball rolling.
Well, there you have it, guys. Thanks a lot, Ty, for doing that. He's sore, guys, but he wants to win. He's leading right now. Let's see if he can do it here again in Edmonton.
Nice work, Genius. Okay, the boys are on the line right now, getting ready to go on parade, Brian. This is the time when they have to start to focus.
Absolutely, and all the homework is done leading up to this moment. Fastest qualifier, Tyler Medaglia on the first gate pick on the inside. They're going to go out for their sight lap. When we come back, racing's on.
This is Edmonton, Alberta, and the Castrol Raceway. The 2 lovely monster girls, Alex and Sunny, out on the track with a 30 board. That can only mean one thing. The first MX2 moto of the day is about to begin, and it will be brought to you by MX Performance Magazine, the #1 motocross magazine in the country. Great shot down the line of all the boys getting ready with the 30 board going to 5. Brian, we are 5 seconds from racing. Riders focusing back down on the gate, waiting for it to go sideways. The board goes sideways, heads are down, and the gate is down. Brian coming to that first corner. Who's going to get that Royal Distributing hole? Shit!
40 guys storming in hot. Oh, and a Cowie gets loose on the outside, but it is number 1, Teddy Mayer, with that Royal Distributing hole. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from the KTM of Jeremy Medaglia, showing a wheel. But look at Sean Rife, leading edge Kawasaki teammates. Oh, he gets a little squirrely there with a mitt full of throttle traps. He's very aggressive for the lead early on.
A very safe start, but super fast, Brian. We saw Medaglia on the inside almost have the whole shot. No way, Mayer had it, but out of nowhere came Rife. Teammates to Mayer. Look at the speed for Rife on the outside.
Rife was the guy that went sideways in the first turn. He grouped back together and just wound up the throttle, got right up into Mayer's grill, and he's sitting right on Mayer's fender. But there's Medaglia looking really good right in the back end of that KTM.
A pair of Medaglias through the Contour HD lock-off. What a dynamite shot, right? Oh my goodness, brotherly love. Not on this track. It's bar to bar through the rhythm section.
Tyler gets little brother Jeremy on the inside, riding that Blackfoot Yamaha, right, paddling along here. gives Mare some breathing room. And look at these big launchers out here in Edmonton. A huge flat facility, and it's a super fast racetrack.
You know, the one thing I love about Sean Reif is his riding styles. He gets back on the saddle through that rhythm section up to the big wall head. Does he have him on the inside? No way. I love the fact that Mare got on the gas early. I love Sean Reif's riding style. He rides that bike like it's a toy, for crying out loud.
Look at Reif jumping. Reif right now is expending a lot of energy because he's hungry. He looked like and he kicks the hay bale. Has to brake a little early. He's coming in faster than Teddy. He's actually riding a bit faster right now, but he's losing a little bit of time by trying so hard. And you know, the energy level right now is so peaked, he could burn himself out if he keeps this pace up.
The one thing about a flat track like this, Brian, is that it's all up to the track builder. He's got to create obstacles. He's got to create corners. He's got to create momentum. And Matt Lee has done a spectacular job here today with Medaglia over the finish line.
Track originally built by Chick Schublis several years ago. Matt Lee mentored under Chick and now has picked up the torch. Here things are getting hot for 6th place. That is Spencer Knowles with a big whip scrub up the inside of Quebec rider Jonathan Parise, and Knowles gets the pass early on that leading edge Kawasaki. We know those leading edge bikes are fast.
Fabs, he went from the outside to the inside with that scrub, so a spectacular pass from a great BC rider, Spencer Knowles, on that leading edge Kawasaki. Look at this little cluster of guys rolling through the rhythm section. We've got some great battles on the track down here, Brian.
Yeah, there's a big launcher. That line that Reif took is like a supercross line. There's a lot of split or option in the corners, option courses where there's different terrain. The Reif went on the inside and tripled way over. That is Dylan Kalin on the RMZ 250. He's got some problems here in the first moto.
Fabs, let's go on board with number 29, Spencer Knowles, as he goes inside on Allison with a great move over that huge wall hit into the Royal Distributing corner.
Allison's not lying down. He's keeping the gas on. He's got the inside advantage. They're still drag racing. It's not over. This wall was built just to kind of slow the guys down, make an obstacle before the corner. Some of the riders not liking it, but it's a great passing opportunity, and I think it's a great addition to the track.
As we get back to the battle for second place, Sean Reif in second, number 5, Tyler Medaglia in third, and his brother 17, Jeremy Medaglia in fourth.
Wow, they are tight. You can see in that corner before the Monster Energy finish line tabletop that it is a split line, a big bump on the inside and smooth around the outside. Here comes Eric Nye. Royal Distributing KTM rider does a great move there from outside to inside on Kieran Fitzgerald. Of course, Fitzgerald from South Africa has that knee injury, so he's riding a little guarded right now.
You definitely could see him swing wide in that corner, Brian. Not able to dab. Look at Medaglia looking for second place. Coming up to the Royal Distributing wall head. No way, Reif gets on the gas early, working on his defense, Brian. Medaglia's been trying to find areas to get around him, but Reif is just too fast right now.
Medaglia's got some great lines. Look at this. First 250F, I'm seeing it do that big triple there. I saw Colton Fossiati do it this morning, but that has got to have Reif thinking. Medaglia is totally aggressive, and he's doing more obstacles, piecing some of these rhythms together and getting around faster.
Our 2008 MX2 champion, Eric Nye, has started to find some good lines, Brian, as he works up on number 27, Kevin Benoit. Boy, I tell you what, Nye is very calm and complacent, but get him out on the track in a situation like this, and he is going to twist it.
Eric got a terrible start in this moto, but he's been continually working his way forward, just passing Benoit, another French-Canadian rider, Parise, right in his sights, and that's 9th place on the line.
Looks like this little cluster, second, third, and fourth, is starting to heat up in the third, fourth category. Number 5, Medaglia in third. Here comes his brother Jeremy in fourth on the inside. Brian, you look at this track, huge wide corners, lots of opportunity to carry speed.
Jeremy, great under braking, and look how Jeremy lands on the top of that second bump there to get his momentum. The 450's clearing that, but a real feed on the 250F. But if you get your front wheel over that bump, you're rhythm into the corner way faster, already into lap traffic. Things are getting super hot for second place, Travs.
You got that right. How about for 5th place? Spencer Knowles, number 29, through the rhythm section. He's got Jared Allison all over his heels, checking the lines, Brian, under braking. Going on board with Knowles as Allison slips by on the inside. What a great shot.
Really impressed by both Allison twins this year. Try to see how much faster through the rhythm than Knowles. And I'm liking what I'm seeing with guys taking all different kind of ways through there, hitting bumps at different times. But things are getting interesting for second place. Tyler Medaglia diving in on that Blackfoot Yamaha. He is hungry for second, and he is starting to really push Reif. Reif feels the pressure, man. He knows he's there every step of the way, Travers.
I love the line choice for Tyler Medaglia. He's using it to his advantage right there with that little inside shaker line. What a beauty. You know what? Tyler Medaglia is a young rider, but very experienced, Brian.
Yeah, he turned pro early on, suffered with some injuries, but he is so mentally fit. He is physically fit. He went from last to third in Kamloops in the first moto, won the second moto, and look at the gap he's got on Rife already after that aggressive pass.
And that's what he needed to do in this moto, was to get into second place to keep that gap between Mayer and Rife into his advantage.
I think Mayer has had some time to check out because that Rife-Medaglia thing, I think, has kind of slowed the two of them down a bit, opened the door for Teddy Mayer to just check out. You know, earlier on, it looked like Rife was going to take the lead.
The younger Medaglia has made it up on Rife now as they go over the wall, hit into that Royal Distributing corner. Oh my goodness, almost bar to bar, like in that inside line for J-Dags. No way, Rife on the gas. Brian, super aggressive, even late in this moto. We talked about the possibility of maybe him dropping the anchor last week. Might have been a bit of a bike problem. He looks pretty good right now.
Rife has not had a moment to himself in this moto. He has had so much pressure, pressuring for the lead, then getting pressured by Tyler, now younger brother Jeremy, and Jeremy got third overall last week, so we're going to keep apprised of that battle. Teddy Mayer now way out front, working through lap traffic. He had a dismal start to the season in Kamloops. He got a flat rear tire in the first moto, so he's a little down on points. He needs this right now.
He sure does, Brian, but he came into this round in 10th place, so you're right, big gap to clean up. Here's Knowles with another Allison hot over his heels in that same rhythm section. Let's check the lines. Is Knowles going to leave the door open this time? No, he goes inside. Nice little smooth transition over to the inside of the next turn.
Yeah, he learned his lesson there last time from the Allison boy, and Knowles looked like he was going a lot faster this time. I think when he got passed by Jared, he messed up coming into the rhythm. This time on pace with Parker and going fast.
Well, this track's all about timing, Brian. Those corners and the way that you attack them, you have to be so precise. As number one, Teddy Mayer comes across the finish line and gets his first moto win of the season, leading edge Kawasaki.
Welcome back to the Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. Great shot of our winner, Teddy Mayer, getting the whole shot loot. Sean Rife able to hold off Jerry Medaglia. Parker Allison also held at bay by spending holes. Nice, settles for 8th.
The number one plate showing why he is the champion there, Teddy. Last week, the first moto didn't go well, but that one right there was pure domination. Got out front, they stuck with you a couple laps, but that's all they could do.
Hey, you know, I was kind of tight the first 2 laps. They were all over me. I was just like, I was telling myself I would just settle down and ride like I do at home, just practice, ride smooth. And that's what I did. I was just kind of effortless. And it was good. That's just exactly how I want to do it, you know, every weekend. And hopefully make those points back up.
It looks like you were feeling pretty good towards the end of that moto because those guys were on you, but you just felt relentless. Did you feel better halfway through that race?
Actually, yeah, about halfway I started tightening up, and then I kind of breathed and then just tried to ride my own race. I knew they were behind me. I knew they was getting tired too, so I just tried to ride my own race and hopefully stay in front of them.
With the first MX2 moto in the books, the MX1 boys are out on the line. They have come from staging to the gate, chosen their gate positions, done a little bit of farming, and now they're preparing to go out on parade. Great shot of number 65, Troy Adams up from Florida. We've got the number 31 of Sean Moffenbauer, who's starting to ride really well for that Schrader Yamaha team. The South African number 8, Liam O'Farrell, and that Gopher Dunes Suzuki could get in the mix at any time. And how about number 3, Bobby K? Brian Coster caught up with him earlier this morning.
Here with number 3, Bobby Canary, off to a much better start than last year in Kamloops, where you had a dismal day. 3rd overall last weekend in Kamloops. Bobby, you were looking hot on the bike.
Yeah, I felt a lot better this year around. We did a lot more preparation this year with Stu and the boys here at Rockstar. And man, we came in swinging, had a good day, ended up 3rd on the day. That's right where we wanted, you know, on the box, first round right out of the bat, and getting that championship hunt early.
Well, you got a bit of a feel of the competition. You know where you stand. Edmonton, super fast track. What's the vibe today?
It's pretty mellow. You know, we're parked about a mile from the track out here because of some rain this week, but the guys did a great job working on the track, got it in mint condition for us. Should be a great day of racing. I know we're looking forward to trying to get back up on that box.
With number 2, Dusty Clack getting the fastest qualifying time, he decides to go with the inside gate pick. First MX1 moto right around the corner. Welcome back to the Castrol Raceway in Edmonton, Alberta. First MX1 moto, the boys are on the line as the lovely Sonia and Alex bring the 30 board out onto the start straight, Brian. The Monster Girls doing a great job for us here, getting these races started. The 30 board is up.
This is what it all comes down to right now. Everyone doing their last-minute rituals. This first MX1 Moto brought to you by Smith Optics, and these guys are getting all their goggles straightened away as Sonny goes to 5, Travs, and we got Klatt right on the inside.
Riders focusing on the 5. When it goes sideways, they will look down at the gate right there, Brian. The gate is down, coming to that first corner as we go on board Redemption Racing's number 22, Mason Phillips.
What a great on-board shot. D-Booth right in front of him. Phillips gets pitched off, but it's Klatt with the Royal Distributing hole shot. Edges out Fasciotti, so pair of Blackfoot Yamahas 1-2. Fasciotti takes a peek early. This is reminiscent of what Sean Reif was doing to his teammate in the first moto.
Dusty Klatt with some changes this week to his mental game. We thought he was going to be strong as he's got a nice line on the inside, but Fat Yotes is all about the throttle on the outside. Does he have the lead, Brian? It looks like he does.
He does for now, but as the corner comes around, he does take the lead early on, and look how fast these 450s are. A lot faster than the 250Fs on this racetrack. They have a lot more horsepower. Klatt responding, though. This is the first lap. So we'll see if Dusty can find his way back into the lead.
With the boys funneling through this nice double on the contour, HD lockoff, Fasciotti out in front. Dusty Klatt in a tight second, Brian. He is closing up, coming into that Suzuki off-camber.
You can see previous on that rhythm section how easy it is for the 450s to get by that last bump of the rhythm section and set them up for the corner. So the 450's able to clear a lot more on these rhythm sections. Kyle Keast in trouble from Kevin Urquhart, the American rider, for 6th place. But look at these guys side by side. Travers, let's hope they don't lock handlebars as they go over the wall hit. I like Keast tucking in, and the Keast is a big man on the bike, and if there's contact, usually he's gonna win.
The number 1 of Colt Fasciotti coming around this tight little right-hand KTM switchback section as we get back to the number 8 of Liam O'Farrell, and that Gopher Dude Suzuki currently sitting at 6th.
Hits the tabletop there under the monster finish banner. Riders behind going for Terras. Looks like Josh DeMuth on that Cernix Kawasaki gets a decent start. He gets by Ryan Miller, local Prairie boy who's been struggling with shoulder injuries. Royal Distributing rider doing really well for a young lad, but DeMuth, a seasoned expert, looking really good out here. Oh no!
Crash out there,
wow. Cornel Nemeth from Hungary. He was a big favorite coming in, gets her sideways and all wrong. Does a wicked face plant out here in a hard soil sample.
Nemeth went over the bars last week in the second moto in Kamloops and had to make his way into the top 10, and now he samples early in the first MX1 moto here. Tough way to start it out.
Yeah, definitely not the way you want to start the season, but look at Keast on the outside of that machine Honda. Takes a good peek at Urquhart. This is 5, 6, 7 here with O'Farrell and that Gopher Dude Suzuki sitting 5th.
There's about 3 or 4 good lines, Brian, in the Suzuki off camera. I like the way the Keast is down low, just dropping down to that off camera, gets some great drive coming out of the corner into that double tabletop section and moves into 5th place. What a great pass.
Keast just railed that burr, man. O'Farrell had no chance. That was a great pass. And the guys that can come into these ruts really fast, throw themselves with their motorcycles into them hard, are going to exit faster, and that's how you make a pass out here. It's all a little cat and mouse as we see 9th place on the line. Miller up the inside. Gets a little hung up in that rut. And look, and you can really see that split course. Mason Phillips takes that Supercross-style outside launcher, makes a great move. Moffenbauer in red gear on that blue Yamaha also gets by Miller, and of course Miller rider. We got a man down in the whoop section. You can see Nemeth bouncing through there, and there's PJ Stratton, number 33 on that privateer Honda, just making his own little line there on the grass.
That's quite a dangerous spot to be laying the bike down there fast in that rhythm section as we get back to number 1, Fat Yodels, who's on a tear in the lead.
Wow, he's riding just a nice shot of Klatt coming in off that wall. He on the gas big time, and these 450s, it's all about throttle control. It's great here to see the gap in real time. There's Bobby Canary sitting 3rd on that Rockstar Ocean Suzuki. Stu Robertson, the team manager there, and a nice shot of Cairo, Georgia's Freddie Carlee, MTF-sponsored rider on that private Kawasaki.
Here's a rider on the gas, number 135, Josh DeMuth, as he comes blazing out of that monster corner with a great line through the rhythm section and goes really wide through the Suzuki off camber. I like Urquhart's charge out of there, but I don't know. Josh DeMuth's on a tear right now, Brian. Nice style over that big tabletop.
Well, DeMuth came through that rhythm section so much faster. You can see him just way it land. Yeah, the writing's on the wall here for Urquhart. Urquhart, one of the hardest riders to pass this year, and he's been riding up in Canada for a few years, really coming into his own. But DeMuth Demuth, I think, has got the experience, and man, his outdoor speed has been surprising.
The gap from first to second is starting to open up as we get to number 2, Dusty Cloud, working his way through lap traffic, Brian, sitting in a comfortable second. I know he wants to go for the lead right now in the win, but maybe second moto. Number 3, Bobby Canary on that Rockstar Suzuki. Man, he's got some speed up on this track.
You can see how the lappers were slowing Dusty Cloud down there previously. Bobby Canary's going to be into those same lappers soon. Battle for 6 is getting pretty hot. Demuth right on the inside of O'Farrell. Takes the position. Oh, O'Farrell has a bit of a heartbeat moment there. The front end getting a little sketchy. These ruts, they're pretty deep, and the dirt dry solid, so they're not moving anywhere. And if you get it wrong, they can snap the handlebars right out of your hand real fast, and bam, soil sampler.
The slowest looking, fastest man we'll ever see, Brian. The number 1 of Colton Fasciotti, making it look easy out here. We've said it before, we'll say it again, poetry in motion.
It's all about the smoothness, and he is buttery smooth. Good race for 7th place now. Farrell, he's been, oh, look at that. The big leap by Phillips. Right up the inside, forces O'Farrell wide in the rhythm section. Great racing. These races get on in time. The speeds don't go down. These guys just get faster and faster with every lap. Good action with Carly and Demuth, Travers.
Brian Demuth with some confidence in his rubber makes that inside line work for him. I thought it was a beauty.
Yeah, that was all traction, and that's a good point you bring up. You got to trust your tires. It's all about getting the traction into the ground, getting that forward momentum. Bobby Canary struggling there a little bit, hitting the rhythms. Well,
what is this?
Uh-oh, Dusty Cloud looks over. He's pulling off. Has to be a mechanical because he looks fit as a fiddle right there by the Dunlop banner. He's out of the race right now.
Brian, with Cloud out, that puts Canary into second place. It puts Keast in third, and the number 135 of Josh Demuth is now pressing for a podium spot.
Good point. Keast, a little wheel spin coming out of that last Royal Distributing corner, goes wide. They both displace the lappers, and Keast goes way high on that Supercross style obstacle. Jumps way down the track. Demuth opting to stay low right now, and Demuth, his eyes are peeled on Keast right now. Keast leaves the door open, rails wide. Demuth on the inside, they can crisscross. Oh! Demuth with an experienced move, and I could see Demuth come in there with his eyes up, focused on the number 9, seeing where he had to go to make that pass happen. Bang, boom, it is done now.
Fab's line choice on this track because of the speeds are critical, and you're seeing Demuth choosing some fantastic lines out there, with Adams getting by Schneider for 13th. Number 3, Bobby Canary in second place on cruise control right now, Brian, coming in to get his last lap flag.
Look how deep and grueling these ruts are, and right now Canary knows he's kind of safe there. He's not pushing super hard, and he backed off a second, started to make mistakes. So sometimes you have to keep pushing. Once you start thinking things through, that's when you bobble. Colt Fasciotti, though, he has got all the time in the world. He is flowing like butter last time through the rhythm section. He is just on cruise right now. Oh, yeah. He's certainly not aggressive in these shots, Travs. He is just rolling in. Couple more turns. He's going to take his 3rd moto victory of the season. This is going to make 3 for 3 for Fat Yotes.
Brian, working the JSR program. You sprint early, then you go on cruise control, and you take your 3rd moto win. Colton Fasciotti does it here in Edmonton.
Welcome back to round 2 of the Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. Dusty Cloud up for his Hole Shot Award. He DNF'd that moto to the Yamaha leaderboard. Canary and Harrod second. Demuth late moto pass on Keast. Gotta like Mason Phillips, Troy Adams, and Sean Moffenmeyer.
Josh, you're a bit of a wild card. You raced here back in 2005, but coming into the season, even though you won that Arena Cross Championship, people were a little uncertain. I think you showed today that A, you're in shape, and B, you've got the motivation to run up top.
Yeah, definitely. I feel great. Like I said, I'm getting more used to my bikes, and it's good. I feel really strong out there. I'm definitely in shape. It's just one of those things. I'm getting older, and it's harder to go fast. So I'm just really struggling with my starts. I need to get a good start and hopefully get out here and run with the top 2 guys.
Boy, we talk about experience and how maybe you compare one race season to the next. You look at the way we talked about last year, your start was. This year, you were on fire. You're working up podium speed. I think maybe you might have something if you can get out and get a good start, maybe battle for the lead.
Yeah, my starts are great, and like I said, I really just want to chip away more and more every week. We were 3rd last week, now we're 2nd. It was a gift, but hey, I'm here, no excuses. Like I said, I'm sick of that stuff happening to me, and I really want to take advantage of it and chip away at those sprints until we get up here with Colton on that number 1 spot.
Nice job, Travs. To the 2nd round of the Western Canadian Women's Motocross Nationals. presented by Honda. And these girls put on a great show last weekend in Kamloops. Here's number 3, Danae Giroux on that white Yamaha. She's really starting to pick up the pace and starting to dominate this class.
Well, coming into the series, she was definitely the favorite to win the Western Canadian title, but the one girl that's really started to show, and a lot of times you see this in a series, you get those young up-and-comers coming up and showing their wares, is number 50, and that is Shelby Turner on that KTM. She's really starting to tear it up, right?
And you know, in the women's class, it was predominantly dominated by two-stroke motorcycles, a little lighter and easier for the girls to ride. Now, most all of them on 4 strokes. You can see Deneen doing a huge gap there through the rhythm section, jumping all these big tabletops. The top girls, Carly Posnikoff, number 5 on the Cowie, really coming into her own as well, Travs. These girls getting faster with every season.
Brian, as we talked about earlier this season, the women's or the ladies classes have been broken into a Western Championship and an Eastern Championship with a shootout at Walton. So we're going to see the best of the best in Walton for the so-called round 7, and it's going to be a barn burner. Here's a good shot at number 50, Shelby Turner, 14 years old, Lethbridge KTM, taking care of business.
And she's still on that 152 stroke. There's Missy Hackett, number 122,
Whoa.
and Rachel Springman, and a real heads-up line there for Missy Hackett. Misses part of that kicker facing the jump, and Danae Giroux from Saskatchewan just styling. She's been busting out these big jumps all day long, and there you can see the gap to Shelby Turner, who had a terrible first moto. So in the middle, Danae Giroux's sister Amber second, Carly Posnikoff third.
Okay, Fabs, it's time to put up or shut up. Second MX2 Moto is about to begin as we see the riders coming out of staging in their finishing positions from the first moto. Of course, Mare, Medaglia, Rife, and another Medaglia.
These guys getting ready to do battle for you. Stick around after the break. It's racing.
Welcome back to the Castrol Raceway in Edmonton. Let's go down to the line and go on board with Eric Nye. There are the words from former Canadian Pro racer Ryan Lockhart, now wrenching for number 12, Eric Nye, Brian, as this second MX2 Moto will be brought to you by Brass Knuckle Therapy.
3 fast guys on the inside. Mare opting to keep that second position in Trav, where he got the whole shot from the first moto. The gate is down. Big drag race down here, up, shifting all the way, hard on the brakes into the left-hander. Looks like the KTM of Jerry Medaglia with a great jump. Look at this onboard footage with Eric Nye. It's fantastic. Got an excellent start for Medaglia, though, just outside the top 5.
Punishing Roos, Brian, when you're in that 5, 6, 7 position, but I think they're going to give that Royal Distributing Hush, yeah, to number 1, Teddy Mare.
That's right, Trav. We've got the same 4 customers up front as the first moto. The brothers Medaglia squeezing in, and Rife hits a bit of a kicker as we go on board with Eric Nye. Nice shot of Spencer Knowles, and you can just hear and feel the Roos taking off the camera, and the high-speed sections here evident via the camera. Off a nice little doubles. They come into a braking zone. A lot of choppy bumps coming into these ruts. And the helmet cam moving a little bit more than what a rider sees, but a really good depiction. And you see that line right there for number 5, Tyler Medaglia makes the pass on right. Practically missed that whole bump coming into that turn.
Tyler Medaglia wasting no time getting up into second. Looks like Jeremy's making a move on number 76, Sean Rife. Here's that hole shot again. They were so close, Brian. Mare on the inside, just half a wheel ahead of Jeremy.
I'd call that a tie, but Mare takes the advantage into turn 2, so you gotta give him the shot, and Rife right around the outside to make it quick work of Medaglia into second.
Mare looking good right now in the lead as we get back to second place, number 5, Tyler Medaglia. As we talked about it, Brian, he said in his post-race interview after the first moto that he took too long to get by Rife. Quickly he's into second place in this moto.
That's right, Trav's taking different lines than Mare up the inside. I'm liking what I'm seeing as we see Eric Nye fly by in 5th, and Spencer Knowles hanging tough in this moto in 6th place. So hopefully we can see him get on the box before this Western swing is up.
A much better start for Nye in the second moto. The first moto was the disaster. He had to work really hard to get into the top 10. Here's a nice battle for 8 with 21 Allison and number 208 Vassar. First time we've seen him in the top 10.
He's riding real fast right now, and you can see the other Allison twin right behind. Vassar. So the Allison boys are up in the mix again. Dylan Kalin regrouped after his first moto difficulties, and this is 12th, and he's looking to get his way around Corey Snellgrove. Snellgrove, number 39 on the KTM, couple of Ontario riders. Kalin takes him on the inside. You can just see the great speeds attained out here, Travs, from the different angles as someone's destroyed a hay bale out on the racetrack.
The riders really slow down as they're coming towards the finish, Brian, through this little switchback section. Look at Medaglia coming up for that little inside hump line. No way, Rife closes the door.
The outside's a smooth option. All the fast guys liking the inside as we get back to more battling with Knowles and Parker Allison. Parker got him in the first moto in the rhythm section and just throttled by him there into the corner. Really good battling. We find these two together all the time, but for now, the Allisons seem to have the measure on Spencer Knowles.
Young, fast Canadian riders for sure. Brian, as we get back to our lead package, number 1, Teddy Mayer in the lead. Number 5, Tyler Medaglia close in tow. Looking, oh my goodness. Jeremy Medaglia is trying to find a way around Rife, but he'll have none of it.
We've got battles for the lead and battles for third right now. Look at the aggression of young Jeremy Medaglia in that orange Motorsports KTM. Oh, a big cutoff by Sean Rife. He moves right across the track to protect his line, and that's what you got to do in the sport of motocross. Medaglia, a little stumble coming out of the corner, but showing great aggression, crisscrossing, taking completely different lines than Rife, and I think Rife is in a bit of trouble right now.
The battle for 7th has a pair of Allisons coming through into this sweeper section, Brian. A little bit of brotherly love. They probably aren't going to be banging too many bars, I wouldn't think.
No, I don't think so at all. These guys get along really well, identical twins. You can only imagine how many laps they've got around practice and racetracks together growing up since they were little boys riding motorcycles, chasing the dream, and here they are, running 7th, 8th, living the dream, and the pair of them are on the cover of the next MXP magazine, Travs.
Looking pretty stylish in that TLD gear as we get back to our leader, number 1, that is Teddy Mayer, who might have opened up a little bit of a gap on second place, Tyler Medaglia. Oh, he's got some fast lines in that tight section.
Definitely. Oh, we have a rider down. Jeremy lays it down late in the moto. This is not good at all. Let's Sean Rife get away. And it looked like maybe Eric Nye got by him for that 4th position.
Right, number 29, Spencer Knowles has his hands full of Vassar. This 208 Vassar's pretty quick. I like some of these line choices out for him as he slips by on the inside off the wall hit into the Royal Distributing corner.
Great ride for Vassar. Oh, look at this. Sean Rife favoring that left wrist. Putting off the track. This is way out in the back section. Looks like his day is done, and he was sitting a solid 3rd, so podium spot gone, and just think of the points that he's going to lose here today.
Vassar moving up on Allison. This battle is for 8th place. Coming out of that monster corner. Oh, Brian, he grabs a handful of throttle and loops her out.
Vassar with a complete amateur move gets a little aggressive. You can see him looking up. He can see Allison. He's like, man, I gotta go. And so much traction out here. He just looped it right out. There's Rife, Travers. He is definitely Dunsky.
Trying to get a report on exactly what happened to him. We'll get back to you. Here's a little battle for 9th place. We've got Dylan Kalin and some creative line work for number 15, Kieran Fitzgerald.
I've been seeing guys do this all day. We should get an official out there to mark that part of the territory. It's a bit of a cheater line there. Smart guys are taking it. Fitzgerald, with that sore knee, though, starting to pressure up on Kalin as the moto wears on.
The KTM pilot, number 27, Kevin Benoit, now feeling the heat from number 26, Jared Allison. Boy, Brian, we keep talking about it, but the speeds in this track are impressive. Allison on the inside.
Jared does a great job of fading out and then cutting in on Benoit. Great pass as we look at number 12, Eric Nye, Royal Distributing. KTM takes a last lap flag, and with Rife out, that puts him right up to 3rd spot on the box. Teddy Mayer rhythming beautifully here. Moto's winding down, and Jeremy Medaglia's got to be disappointed with himself for falling down and handing that 3rd spot to Nye.
But sitting in 4th right now, Brian, the way things are shaping up, he will get 3rd overall for the day. Back to number 1, Teddy Mayer, who's been pretty much all by himself all moto, coming around and taking the clean sweep in the MX2 class here at the Castro Raceway in Edmonton. Boy, that kid's got to be excited.
As a racer, that's what you work for your whole career, for the clean sweep. We know our top 4. Jared Allison, Best, Benoit. Parker's there in 7th. Knowles, Dylan Kalin, and Fitzgerald rounded out.
The lucky, trusty helmet cam does it again for Mr. Eric Nye, buddy. Another solid ride out there. Got a little benefit from Sean Rife going out, but you got to love that stuff and on the box again.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I started a little slow, and then wasn't up to speed for the first maybe 10 minutes of the race, and then I really picked it up and started reeling guys in and riding like I should be, you know, and it was a good race to be on the box. You know, I'm happy. The first moto was terrible, but this moto is better.
We're going to call that a championship day for this guy here. Last weekend taking the win. This weekend maybe not being the fastest guy, but a 2-2, solid points, still on the top of the box for the championship points.
Yeah, you know, it was awesome. I got a good start, almost had the whole shot. You know, I think that's what it would have taken for me just to get a good start, because I stayed with Teddy at the beginning and just eating his roost, and you know, I've been sick all week, and you know, to come out with the 2-2 is, you know, I'm really happy. I'm looking forward to next weekend in Calgary.
To the series points in the MX2 class after 2 of 9 rounds. Badaglia looking good in first. Mayer makes it all the way back to second with that clean sweep. I'm liking Benoit, Allison, and Dylan Kalin in 10th. With our MX2 pilots up on the podium, our MX1 boys are ready to go. Stay tuned. What a spectacular venue we have here for racing at the Castro Raceway in Edmonton, Alberta. Final moto of the day is on the line. The 30 board is up, and this second MX1 moto will be brought to you by Hindle. Feel more power. How about Fascietti going for that inside gate pick, Brian, after winning that first moto?
That's right. That's where all the guys want to be. Klatt, though, on the very outside with his DNFer, did not finish in the first moto, so we'll see what he's made of. As the gate goes down, Travs, Bobby Canary right beside Fascietti. He ain't intimidated one bit. On board with Machine Racing. Kyle Keys, look at the action. Demuth, a good start. See Canary go sideways there, Travs. And there's Dusty Klatt with a great start. Oh, and Canary comes back into the fray and just cuts Keys right off. So we have got some key factory riders right up front early. Really impressed with Klatt from the far outside. And look at the different lines and how wide this racetrack is.
The privateer number 552, Freddie Carly, with a fantastic start. Brian, looks like he's in third place right now as they tuck in through this little left-hander. The left-hander's big, but those lines on the inside are tight.
Great action during the race on board there. Loving it. And there's our helmet cam pilot in the white, Kyle Keast, on that 450 Honda, one of the only Hondas really to break the top 10 out here.
Keys drifting wide into that monster corner, moves into fourth place. Canary back to fifth, and Josh DeMuth is on the gas.
A good start for DeMuth here in this moto, but he has to be mindful of number 22, Mason Phillips, coming in like gangbusters on that little sneaky inside line there.
To our leader, number 1, Colton Fascietti. Different race, same story, Brian. He's out in front. Let's go back to second place. Yes, Klatt in second with the number 2 Yamaha. To 552, that's Carly in third. We have Keys, we have Canary, we have Phillips, and number 135, Josh DeMuth.
Yeah, Phillips made the pass stick on DeMuth, so we'll see if Josh can maybe pick up a few lines from Phillips. Sometimes you get past, it's not a bad idea to observe for a while before you make your move, but you don't really want the leaders to get too far ahead and break away, so a lot of things go through your mind out on the racetrack. And Bobby Canary now is making a move on Keys. These two great friends off the track. Drag racing down, a little spray in the puddles. We go on board with Keys, and Canary just knifes right in, and you can almost feel and hear the roost bouncing off of Kyle Keys, and he's saying just outside of the roost zone. A little bobble there by Canary as they come up to this little double. Land a bump here just to kind of screw you up. You land right in the corner, and look at the different areas of the track these guys are choosing.
This time Canary used that outside line to his advantage by carrying speed, and he was using that sneaky, tricky line again. Canary's great with line choice, though.
Yeah, that line I think has got to be addressed for next year. We're going to have a marker there or an official, so that cannot be allowed to happen. Oh no, Dusty Klatt, double moto DNF, pushing it off again. We have to get a report from what's going on there with that bike, and he has just got to be so dejected. He has worked so hard in the off-season, coming around 2 and have the bike quit in both motos has got to hurt.
Coming out of the bowl turn right into that supercross section, it looks like Phillips and Keast are getting it together. Back to our leader, number 1, Colton Fascietti. The leg is up, Brian. He looks good.
This look at the way he works the throttle on each bounce, times everything perfectly. Poetry motion. Bobby K landing with the leg out. I'm liking the aggression right here. This is, oh, nice. This is second place on the line now that Klatt is out. Bus Carly's chops there big time. They almost landed simultaneously on the downside of that tabletop. Huge pass for Canary to put him into second place. with Clad's problems. And there's Dusty Clad. Whoa, can you sing Heartbreak Hotel, Travs? Elvis could not say it better himself.
Fabs, let's go back to that pass for a second by Canary. Gets in that inside rut and then gives Carly the full hucklebuck and gets into second place.
He grabbed so much throttle, I think he kind of bounced out of the run a bit, right into Carly's path. Carly's had to kind of readjust to avoid a full-on collision. As we get back to who? It is Colton Fasciotti. Look at him, it looks like he's just out there taking his time.
Well, are you surprised right now, Brian? Because this is 4 motos, and he's getting ready to run the table after 4. The battle right now is for 3rd place. Mason Phillips on the inside as they come into the bold turn. Carly now inside. Let's look for that move. Yes! Phillips busts the Supercross triple and gets on the inside of the rhythm section.
What a great late moto charge for Mason Phillips from New Zealand. Came into the season so strong, that puts him into 3rd. Oh, Ryan Miller looks done. He's coming in for a drink. But I think his day's probably done battling those shoulder demons. But look right now, it is number 9, and he is in the mix big time with the Cernix Monster Kawasaki riders. That is Josh Demuth coming up his tailpipe, just like in the first moto.
Demuth had him on the inside and made the pass, but then swung a little wide in the corner. Keys doubles back, gets the position back. But I tell you what, Josh Demuth, a big man, and he can choose lines, Brian. That's the one thing I've noticed about Josh Demuth, is he has got an eye for the track.
Yeah, big time. And Freddie Carly, he has had his mitts full most of this race. Just got passed by Phillips. Now Keister, the big number 9, is bearing down on Carly after the monster tabletop, but must be cognizant of Demuth's advances. Look at Josh Demuth taking a little peek around the outside traps, and Keys gets hung up in the rut, and it is all over but the crying. Demuth is through.
Brian, it looks like the number 32 of Cornel Nemeth has worked his way up into this 4-pack. That's the battle for 6. Keith is, he's out of the frying pan, but now he's into the fire.
Yeah, good point, and that's where Nemeth went down in the first motos. They drag race down the Zox back straightaway. Nemeth up the inside. Next corner is a left-hander, so that will give him the inside line. They come in at the same time there, Travs.
That looked like Nemeth of old. What we saw from him in Walton last year, where he was pushing that bike, massaging it into those lines.
Yeah, he is a big man, and when he gets his mind straight, man, look for him on the podium. Battle for 4th is getting on. Carly in trouble now from Josh Demuth around the outside. That's the same spot where Nemeth tried to pass Keys, was not successful, but right there, Demuth successfully moves into 4th spot.
And using that outside line, Brian, because we thought the inside might be the faster way around it, but Demuth stayed on the gas and took care of business on the outside to our leader, number 1, Colton Fasciotti, as smooth as silk, Brian.
He's just on a Sunday cruise right now, way out in front, but some unfinished business for 10th place right now. That is Liam O'Farrell dicing it with young Josh Snyder, who's having his best ride in the Pro Nationals to date.
Brian, Redemption Racing would be all smiles if they could have 2 riders in the top 10 and 1 on the podium. It's looking that way right now to our leader, number 1, Colton Fasciotti, taking care of business now in the final stages of this moto.
Man, he is going so fast, but is deceiving because of his smooth. And look at the big air time for Keys for 5th. Whoa, and he forces Carly a little bit off the track. A great charge. See how far Kyle jumped there. I think Carly may be a little tired as the moto wears on.
Fabs, what is this? Number 32, Cornel Nemeth, is riding around the track without a seat. Oh. There it is in the middle of the track, for crying out loud.
We'll see if one of these marshals gets a break to get that seat up and out of the racetrack. But Nemeth with all kinds of issues now, having a strong ride. Now it's going to be hard for him to sit down. Bobby Canary takes the last lap flag. That is a solid ride for him. To our leader, Colton, on that Blackfoot Yamaha. Fasciotti going for a 3rd championship after 2 consecutive ones, Travs, and looks well poised to do so.
Looks like number 22, Mason Phillips, will get his first chance to be on the podium with a real solid ride, some great passes in this moto to make that happen. Number 1, Colton Fasciotti, now looking for his 2nd moto win of the day and his 2nd clean sweep in a row so far in this young 2010 season.
Fasciotti poised to take his 3rd national championship in a row. He has got the last 2 and going for his 4th moto win here for another clean sweep on that Blackfoot Yamaha. Just lapped Liam O'Farrell, so Colton Fasciotti has lapped up to 9th with a big sick whip for the crowd, and that puts him in contention for a brunt of the Max Couchard $50,000 shootout to our Yamaha leaderboard. Bobby Canary takes 2nd with flat out. Great ride for Phillips. I like Adams, Urquhart, O'Farrell, and Snyder in the top 10.
Redemption Racing's number 22, Mason Phillips, third place, second MX1 Moto. Mason, what a spectacular race, buddy. Making some passes to get into third and riding a really strong race. Your team must be really proud.
Yeah, definitely, it was a cool ride. I definitely didn't get the start that I wanted, but I made those few passes early and I charged the whole moto. I felt good, my bike's amazing, and I had fun out there.
Back-to-back clean sweeps. Number 1, Colton Fasciotti, taking control of the MX1 class, completely decimating the field. I'm speechless, my friend.
Yeah, I don't know what to say either. I really didn't expect I could do that this year. I knew there were some guys coming up from the States, and there's some pretty big hype going into round 1. I usually don't get too nervous, but I was actually just a tiny bit nervous at the first round. But once that gate dropped, I felt great. And, I've been getting awesome starts. I think that's been huge. You need to get a good start, get out front, and get some clean air, and just have fun. That's what I've been doing.
To the overall series standings after 2 of 9, Fasciotti, perfect. Canary and Keyston there. Gotta like Carly, and Josh Demuth is the wild card.
To the Max Couche-Tard $50,000 leaderboard, of course, the rider who scores the most points at the end of the season gets $10K, but the rider with the most moto wins gets that $2,500 bonus. Fasciotti looking good right now, Fabs.
Fasciotti earned that last year, a total of $12,500 for him from Max. There's our top 3, Fasciotti, Canary, and Demuth.
Thanks very much, Brian. Okay, let's wrap this up. You have been watching the 2010 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals, brought to you by RoyalDistributing.com, Canada's power sports leader. For Brian Coster, I'm Mark Travers. Thanks very much to Mark Stallybrass, Ryan Gull, Brett Lee, and the track crew. We'll see you next week in Calgary.